This video is going to be slightly different from what I usually do. This is more of a kind of TED Talk type of complaining, get stuff off my chest, because even though I do love Magic the Gathering, I feel that I'm at that stage that I need to kind of voice or vocalize my thoughts and opinions. I'm not really that good at it, but after seeing a fair few bigger creators do it, I decided I could potentially do that with their help, because with how bad I am at articulating my feelings, they're really good. So in this video I'll be talking about kind of the way Magic's been going on lately. If you haven't noticed, my channel's been more focusing on to Pokemon, and I've been more getting into the Pokemon TCG. Now, in saying that, it doesn't mean I don't like Magic the Gathering or I don't love Magic the Gathering, and there's also outside sources as well. Like, for example, I moved like 2 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago at this stage, and my local game shop is like 2.5 hours away. I live in literally the middle of nowhere, and Pokemon cards are still here. There's still like corner shops that sell Pokemon cards, but not Magic cards. So getting my hands on them is more difficult. There's also the fact that my playgroup now lives like 2.5 hours away, and so the last time I actually got to play a game of Commander was November last year, and I could have only stayed for one game. So there's outside sources too, but when it comes to this, my main focus is that Magic's not feeling like Magic anymore. Magic is feeling like it's a cosplay version of it, or it's just to promote other franchises. Kind of mainly focusing on the Universes Beyond stuff, but there's also other aspects to it as well. But before I go any further, I don't really feel right doing this, but I do kind of need to do it at the same time. That it's, please like and subscribe and share it to your friends. I'm close to, I would like to get 2K by Christmas, but I'm just on the line of 1,500. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be really cool if you do. But there's also the fact that I have a small Etsy shop that sells t-shirts and hoodies in different colours and sizes that have really cool and funny designs, in my opinion, that I think people would enjoy and like. So if you like me and what I do, please help out the channel by buying yourself something nice. So now onto the crux of the video. So if you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, I'm kind of not liking the direction Magic is going. Now again, I don't work for Hasbro, I don't work for Wizards, and I don't really have the power to do anything to change it, but I do feel that I need to voice my opinion just to see if others feel the same, to see how people are finding it, see people's point of view, and all of that other stuff. But before I go any further, I do have to say, if you are enjoying Magic, if one of these sets or one of these Secret Lairs that I talk about and I don't like is getting you into Magic, I'm not one of those players that's like, boo. If you like it, if you enjoy it, if you want to sit down, if I'm ever at an event or something, or if we ever meet up and you're like, I want to play this, I am perfectly fine with it. When it comes to my decision of not liking this, it's nothing to do with the player base. I have no problem with the player base in that aspect. I'm not going to be a hater for it if you like it. But it's more the decisions Hasbro is making. It's pretty much, this can be pushed around to or pinned down to, it's everything that comes out of Hasbro's mouth, or pretty much what Hasbro tells Wizards to say, is just pretty much Mr. Krabs going, money, 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 money. And it seems to be from a game that started and grew as a love that people have for the game, that Magic the Gathering, everyone says the gathering part is the players. It seems to be, we turned into wallets. We want a kind of community, we turned into wallets, and what's the best way they can take as much money as possible. And I know it's, from what I've seen online and stuff, it's more Hasbro. Hasbro is majority of the blame. So if you're sitting there going, oh, he's giving out about the new stuff and blah blah blah, but I like it, it's not you. If you love this game, if anything I say that I don't like has to do with you falling in love with this game, I'm happy and I'm glad, and I'm not sending hate your way, and I hope you do the same. my main kind of blame person to pick is Hasbro and Wizards. Wizards I more give leeway because I understand that they have to do what their bosses say, but I really do think, and I can't think of it, but I would really love if a bigger company just went, yeah, go back to the old ways, don't worry about it, we're still going to be making money. Because it seems to be Magic has no problem making money when it comes to, or Wizards has no problem making money when it comes to Magic and D&D, but it seems to be because everything else is kind of failing, they're like, do more, because isn't it, correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't Wizards like their biggest like profit margin? I don't really do business, so please let me know. But to make this more understandable, I have to start from the start, starting off with
where it started.
So a good fair few years ago, because time is an illusion to me, they made Secret Lairs. And when I seen Secret Lairs, I thought they were really, really good. There was the cat one, the Bitter Blossom one, and it came with like quite somewhat pricey cards with a good price tag and amazing art. There's still so many old Secret Lairs that I'm like, if I ever get the opportunity to get my hands on, I'm going to get my hands on. And then slowly, Secret Lairs kind of got worse, in my opinion, and worse. And then they started doing weirder, in my opinion, stuff, like the Advent calendar. That happened, I'm pretty sure, not last year, the year before, but they didn't do one last year, and I don't think they're doing one this year, was announced. And then the Festival in a Box did not feel like a Secret Lair, and then decks. And I was like, do you know what, in fairness, they're trying new things out, and I'm fine with them trying new things out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Fair. And then they brought out Stranger Things. Stranger Things to me, when it first came out, was I don't like that they're plugging other stuff, but I've never been a big fan of one show plugging another, other than in two circumstances I can think of, which is Power Rangers showing off other Power Rangers. So it'll be like, I don't know, show my age here, Power Rangers Wild Force teaming up with Power Rangers Time Force. That made sense. And then, weirdly, the Timmy and Jimmy Power Hours. But that was just because they were both on Nickelodeon and it made sense of them working together, and the way they did it made sense. And why they kind of cross universes. Again, I'm showing my age here. Stranger Things doesn't seem... It seems possible, but it also doesn't seem possible. Jimmy and Timmy crossing timelines, sharing different arts, makes sense. But with the multiverse and many different planets and planeswalkers, there could be a chance that they planeswalked into Stranger Things. But I think it's because of the disconnect of, in my head, here is a huge fantasy world filled with multiple fantasy universes that they can do pretty much anything. They could have done their own version of Stranger Things, and then they put kind of like a lid on it and went, no, this is like an Earth human thing that's made. This is like, I'm like, they could go anywhere, they can do anything. And now when they show the Stranger Things, I'm like, no, I don't like it. But in my opinion, it was a one-time thing. The card seemed somewhat cool, and they announced that they're going to be making a Magic the Gathering version of it later on. So I was like, no, okay, I'm not going to enjoy it, but someone will. It's a once-off thing, it's a little thing, fine. And then Fortnite, Street Fighter, and they just kept making more and more, and now there's one, at least one, in every single Secret Lair. There's been the Monty Python one, the Hatsune Miku one, the Ghostbusters one. There always seems to be one in every single Secret Lair now. I'm like, I really don't like it. And then it got even worse. It then became here is decks. I'm like, okay, Warhammer decks. If I want to be specific. Warhammer decks. I'm like, okay. I don't like the multiverse thingy, but cool. If you want to do a Warhammer thing, people enjoy it, fine. And then it became sets and decks. I'm like, okay. Sets and decks a bit, again, seems to be... It went from 90% Magic the Gathering stuff and only Magic the Gathering stuff to here is things that we know and love from different universes and fandoms slowly leaking in. And then more, and then more. And then they started doing the Jurassic Park, the Transformers stuff. I'm like, okay. Now it seems to be more and more. Now it's like 60% magic and 40% like it's not exactly 60 and 40. We started feeling that it seemed to be the magic universe is getting smaller and yet real world stuff was getting bigger. I'm like, okay, nope, not a big fan of this. Like the artwork seems cool. And then they were like, yeah, we're now doing all of this. So there's like, when a set comes out, there'll be a secret lair with a real world fandom thingy in it, with also a smaller kind of set, like the Transformers attached on. And then we're also not really telling the story. Like the Phyrexian War seemed like it was going to be so big and so better. And when they first showed off the first kind of Praetor coming back, I'm like, oh, this is great. We just finished War of the Spark and that was great. Come on, let's keep going. And then the year after they were like, oh yeah, here's all the others and the war's going to end by the end of the year. And I'm like, no. And then after that, the war ended terribly. In my opinion, it ended way too fast. It could have been a lot bigger. All the Praetors died for being these big, massive, powerful badasses. Died in the most pathetic ways possible. And then we're having like 2 or 3 Universes Beyond sets in between, where I'm like, when a set comes out with a new story point, I'm like, wait, what happened in the last one? Oh, the last one was the Assassin's Creed set, and then there was the core set, and then, oh, okay, so I have to look back 2 or 3 sets beforehand to remember where the story is, and then end up the story being shitter. And then they started doing kind of sets that more felt like cosplay then. Like, it was like, instead of, here is a kind of Western world where we get to see everything and this cool train, like with the blades and all of this cool stuff, and here is this ragtag team of stuff. It was more of a, here's Borderlands, I guess, as a set. I literally made a video on it where it showed the intro of Borderlands 2 and the kind of cinematic thing for the set, and it was pretty much a kind of really, really close. They were both on a train to show the main characters one by one, and then it would stop on them and show their name with a like action scene behind it, and then in between they're like fighting and help each other out. And I'm like, cool. I'm like, okay, what happened in the story? What happened in the set? And it was none, really. It was nothing really, really huge. And they legit find a vault with a small little creature inside. I'm like, okay. If you're not fully promoting a set, you're then promoting a set that you couldn't get the IP for. You couldn't get the IP for any 80s horror film, or like Jason, or the guy with the Nightmare dude, or Scream, or anything like that. So they just did a generic version of it. I'm not, again, the biggest fan. And then there was full sets, the D&D and the Lord of the Rings one. Now the D&D one, because it's close, I gave it more of a leeway. Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna get yelled at for this. I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I don't really like anything medievally, but they got 2 sets and then like secret gift bundle thingies that not many people remember, and I'm like, cool. So it's more and more. And then now Marvel. Now there's Marvel, and then next year we're getting 3. We're getting literally half of Universes Beyond stuff. Plus they'll probably announce Secret Lairs with other Universes Beyond stuff. There's the Universes Beyond that hasn't been announced, and they were like, cool, we're releasing too much, and I know you're giving out that we're releasing too much, so we're gonna get one of the projects next year. Okay. And moving on to the year after. Cool. Which one is it? Oh, it's Lawman. Do you know the one we create? The one people actually fully care about? I'm like, no. Get one of the Universes Beyond stuff and move it. I do find when it comes to this that it's Magic had the ability to even make half this stuff in their own version with a cool story behind it, and they went, we're making too much money, we don't care anymore, we're going to use half of someone else's idea. And I'm like, cool. Like, even the sets next year, I have made a video on it. It's 3 sets of Universes Beyond, and then it's like wacky races, Mario Kart, Skylanders, racing, thrown in with just Magic characters. Cool. Then there's Target, that seems somewhat cool, and people did love that plane. But I have a funny feeling that they're also, when that comes out, there's going to be a secret layer of God knows what at this stage. And then thrown on top, the story is going to be a bit meh, because they're like, even though this has Eugene in it, which is trapped with Bolus, does this mean Bolus has escaped? Ooh, let's go find out. But also, How to Train Your Dragon is now hinted a lot at in this set. I'm like, and the only reason I'm saying that hasn't been confirmed or anything is previous sets. Like, again, the only set, in my opinion, that actually felt like a full-on Magic set was Bloomborough, and a part of me feels like I'm missing something out. Like, there was probably references and stuff, and a load of the stuff shown off, and even then, that's when the Monty Python Secret Lair came out. So when I was trying to enjoy all the Bloomborough stuff, people were like, Monty Python. I'm like, it doesn't feel like Magic anymore to me, in my opinion. I'm like, I don't like it. And I've even said that in videos. I've been going in all these videos going like, hey, I don't like, for example, I'll be like, hey, I don't like Magic the Gathering / Fallout. But I love Fallout, and since it's a thing, I do want it. It's more of a, I love Magic the Gathering, I love Fallout. They put a project together, I don't like the project, but my love and nostalgia for both makes me want to get it. I more feel like, instead of me wanting to buy it because I love it, I want to buy it because, even though I don't like it, my love for both of them combined. And I feel like that, do you know the meme from, I can't remember what the film's called, but it's got that actor's like sitting down, he'll whistle and point at the screen, or the guy going, I just feel like it's, if someone said to me, they were like, oh, they're making a Fallout and Magic the Gathering, I'm like, that's stupid, I hate it. And then I'll see one of the cards, and it'll be a good card with an art from Fallout, and I'm like, I remember that. I'll be like, look, it's Fallout! It's Fallout Magic! And I'm like, I haven't bought any, but I do want them still. If anyone has a way for me to get them, let me know. But I will have them, look at it, go, I hate you. I hate that you exist. But I also weirdly love it. So I understand why people love these Universes Beyond. I understand why people are like, this is great. But it's kind of, for me personally, it's someone like going, peanut butter and jelly sandwich is stupid. I hate it. Peanut butter is okay on its own. Jelly is okay on its own. I hate both. Them two together sound nasty. I hate it. And then they take a bite and they're like, I hate it. But also, this shouldn't be a thing. Why do I like it? Yummy. But it shouldn't be a thing. I still hate it. And then they'll like never eat it again until someone's like, huh? And I know I'm gonna keep doing it. I absolutely I really dislike the Universes Beyond stuff. I really don't like when they combine stuff with stuff. Have I bought any of them? Yes. I have bought the Arcane Secret Lair, and with Arcane Season 2 coming out, if they do another Secret Lair, I'm more likely to buy it. Again, played a lot of League of Legends. Loved League of Legends. Still kind of love League of Legends. Hate Universes Beyond. It's kind of like, a better way to explain it, it's like majority of guys love Mean Girls, and none of them can be like, I admit that I love it. They don't like it. They hate Mean Girls. Mean Girls is stupid. It's a stupid film. Bad film. They sit down and watch it. I love it, and I don't know why. I hate that I love it. I'm like, So I'm very contradicting on myself, and I know that. Because I know for a fact, second they do a Pokemon Secret Lair, or if they do any other franchises, Spyro the Dragon, gonna do it. If they even do Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, which I don't think they will ever do it, I'm probably gonna buy it. And I know I can't really be like, I hate these things. I don't like these things. They should not be a thing. But there's also that bit of me that's like, I can't control it. I can't stop it. So if it's a thing, I'm gonna still buy it. And I'm not one of those people that I'm like, hit it where their wallet, or hit them where their wallets are, or hit it where it hurts their wallet, where it's, people should not buy it. And I'm still not in the good mindset of, if you don't like it, don't buy it. I believe if you don't want it or don't like it, don't buy it. But don't tell other people what to do. If someone else enjoys it, let them buy it. If you don't like something, I think you should be able to allow to voice your opinion. To be like, I do not like this thing, without people going, no, that's stupid, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. But at the same time, I think the same is for reverse. I feel like, as someone that doesn't like this stuff, if someone goes crazy for, I don't know, the Assassin's Creed set, or the Hatsune Miku set, or Secret Lair, or anything like that, I'm not going to turn around to them and go, stop wasting your money, that's stupid. They're going to keep making that stuff. They're buying it because they like it. They're buying it because it was something that they enjoyed. They're buying it because it's two franchises they like combined together. So I understand people wanting to buy it, but it more just feels like it's been overshadowed by Magic itself. As I said, we are getting, in my opinion, one set next year that seems to be potentially 100% just Magic. But even then, there is probably going to be a Secret Lair roughly the same time that's going to pull a bit of attention from it. There's also going to probably be card references from something that we don't even know. I just used How to Train Your Dragon because it has dragons in it, and that was the first thing that popped in my head. There is so many things it could be. And then there is also the set that I haven't mentioned, what people are calling the Star Wars / Star Trek set. That we are at that point now that people are more referencing what it may be than what the set should entail. With, in my opinion, Eugene being in Tarkov or Tarkir, and then a Universes Beyond set with the only artwork we've got is Tezzeret with this massive, I think he has the Darksteel armor skin, who worked really close with Bolus. That's what I'm excited for. But I can't be excited for it because if they are correct, there's going to be too much Star Wars and Star Trek or anything Star Wars or space related noise. And then there's two sets previous where one's Wacky Racers and then one's How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm like, how do you expect me to enjoy this? It seems to be, from the entire year, then pretty much 60% of one set that it feels like Magic. And that's what I'm missing. I'm missing the kind of nostalgia. I'm missing the feeling of, here is a plane or a new plane that is amazing, that you get to flesh out, that you get to see on these cards all these cool things, and then kind of in your head make up or maybe kind of see what potential is in that plane. You get to use your imagination. It's pretty much the best way to put it is, I feel like I'm one of those book people that go, the book's better than the movie, and people are going, the movie's better, but majority of the movie is referencing to another more bigger movie. Does that make sense? Again, as I said at the start, I'm very bad at articulating my thoughts and feelings.
Where we are now.
But now we're on to the present day, where, to be honest, Foundations is the set that is coming out, or is just out from the time of me recording this. And to be honest, as a kind of, they always do a core set that has nothing to do with the story, but to get new players in. They're usually not, in my opinion, the biggest sets of the year, like the M19, M20, M21. They were not the biggest sets of the year. They were always good, but in my opinion, wasn't the best because the story wasn't driving it. They usually lower the power level for new people, which I'm not giving out about. But this is what made it click in my head of, in my opinion, how bad it is getting with just ads pretty much thrown onto Magic the Gathering, when Foundations was a breath of fresh air. It was still not perfect, there was still too many different arts and different styles and stuff like that, but it was a breath of fresh air that was just magic. In my opinion, I could probably ignore it a little bit, and I'm trying my best to ignore if there is references to stuff and all of that, but it just felt good to have a Magic set. It felt like a remake of an old game done right, and that's what I enjoyed. And for me, this and Bloomburrow being the best set, mainly just because it didn't feel like a cosplay or that they're trying to throw ads on to Magic the Gathering, isn't a good sign for the future, in my opinion. Because even as a story-based game, if I am correct, and we find out in Tarkir that Bolas is alive, and then in the next set we find out that Teferi's rather going to join or stop, we won't get another answer until the year after, and it's like April or like June. There's still like 6 months of what's going to happen next, and it's not even, because usually if it did take 6 months or a year or two, there's still little reminders thrown in sets, and still little like, oh, what could potentially happen next. The next set after is Final Fantasy, and as someone that's not a huge Final Fantasy fan, I'm going to be sitting there going, but Bolas, and then they're doing a Spider-Man set. I'm like, is Bolas coming? Oh wait, no, the space set is close to Eldrazi. Is Tezzeret going to try and get the Eldrazi to beat Bolas or whatever? I don't know. But I've got another unannounced set to then wait for. And I'm just like, Sitting there for 6 months with no hints or nothing, I'm going to forget. And then when the next set comes out with the story, I'm just going to be like, what? It's like when you play a game like Skyrim or Fallout, and then you don't play it for a month, and you open up your save, and you're just kind of like, what am I doing? Why do I have like 3,000 Wonder Glues? And then you just go, nah, restart. And that's what I'll have to do. The restart will be me watching a video on YouTube of someone explaining the story. But now, in fairness, they have said that next year there's going to be 3, but from then on there's only going to be 1. However, and I do feel like a bit of a not really a optimistic person here, they said that this problem we're currently having is never going to be a problem. They said that there's not going to be a large amount of Universes Beyond stuff. They also said that if they do make any cards from a different universe, they'll make a Magic version, and now they're just going, no, all these Universes Beyond sets are just going to be legal in all ways to play Magic. I'm like, so you've lied multiple times, and then saying that you're only going to do 1 each year, and that you promise you're only going to do 1 each year, and you expect me to believe you? Yeah, let me just put that dunce hat on. Like, they'll be like, no, we'll just say, for example, I can picture them doing this going next year. No, there's only 1 full set, but we just added 3 more Secret Lairs and like a sub-set in 2 of the sets, like Transformers and Jurassic Park and stuff. I'm like, so technically you lied, but you're still not at the same time, so Or they'll go, we announced that we're doing 1 a year, but we also said that Marvel is going to get, like, we're going to do multiple Marvel ones. So there's Marvel and then another, but we already announced Marvel and we just said we're doing 1 more, so that's technically 2. But they're kind of convincing that they're separate. but they're not. So I'm kind of also like, So that's kind of the reason I've been going more into Pokemon. There's other reasons too that I can make another video on, but the main points being I find the artwork better. Collecting cards, like, I want the good cards, like everyone does, but I don't want to spend 30 quid on a pack, where in Magic, if you want, you need the collector's pack. Like, I got the Charizard from 151 and it's like 200 quid from just a €6 pack, not the 25 plus pack. I'm like, yeah, Pokemon are not perfect, but they're doing it right, and that's what's leaning me more, plus, again, the other stuff I've mentioned. To be honest, the perfect example of how I think people should treat each other and stuff when it comes to this Magic the Gathering stuff is one of my best friends, or closest friends, Carl, loves this stuff. They have collected every single Jurassic Park one. They've tried to collect all the Transformers ones. They bought as much Lord of the Rings product as possible. They are so excited for Spider-Man, and they've bought the Warhammer decks and stuff like that, and I've played against the Warhammer decks and stuff, and the deck was quite good. I think they might have upgraded it, I'm not sure. But whenever we talk about stuff, I get to voice my opinion of how I'm not looking for stuff. They get to voice, he gets to voice his opinion, and we talk about the differences. We talk about what we like or what we don't like. We talk about, even though I don't like Spider-Man as a whole, I still be like, it would be cool if they done Venom and gave him like this ability or these colours, and they'll do the same. We are seeing different sides of the coin, but we're not kind of like giving out about each other. I'm kind of learning more of why people love this stuff, and he's learning more of why people are complaining of this stuff, and we see eye to eye, and that's what I'm liking so far. I haven't personally gotten a lot of hate, or any hate, when it comes to not liking Universes Beyond. In like every video I talk about it, I'm like, I don't like this, but if they're gonna do it, this will be cool. And that's what I'm enjoying so far. I'm just thinking it's kind of, the thing that's making me sad is it feels like the actual Magic stuff that seemed like they could do anything just seems to be getting smaller and smaller, and they're doing more and more ads. And when I mean ads, I mean it seems to be like a Ghostbusters ad on a Magic World, or like a Final Fantasy ad. It seems to be more ads, in my opinion. Like, it's like, yeah, get this set and remember how great Final Fantasy is, so then you go and buy Final Fantasy and play it. It's an ad. But now the main reason I wanted to make this video is actually, I felt like this for a while. I've actually felt like this since kind of the Cowboy set from last year, but I felt like if I said or done anything, especially because I'm trying to grow an audience, that people are gonna like pretty much do what they did with when Commander banned a bunch of cards and then gave it to Magic. People are just gonna not be happy with what I say or give out or not understand because I'm not the best at articulating. But the main reason I was able to be kind of more comfortable, more relaxed is
I'm not the only one.
For example, after this long-winded rant, I do find the Red Bobcat, which is another Magic the Gathering YouTuber, actually said my thoughts and feelings perfectly, with them saying,
I feel like something I love and have been advocating for is going away. And the reason I feel that way is because something I love and have been advocating for is going away. And it's left me feeling like continuing to remain invested in this game just isn't worth it anymore. WotC don't care, so why should I? I want to take my ball and go home.
I completely agree. That sentence could have just had this entire video just squished down into that like 15 seconds. Because I do find that with the Magic universe, you could go anywhere, you could see anything could be possible. They could planeswalk in and literally be in Borderlands. They've done it before with other sets that are heavily influenced, and I didn't mind the heavily influenced because it still feels like its own legit place. But now it just seems to be cosplay, or ads, or beach episodes, depending on who you listen to. And it does also seem to be they're not even hard focusing on their own story. It's people are losing their spark, and yet there's still a load of characters we have no clue if they've lost it or not. And then with the racing set, there's the potential that that item gives their spark back. And we know Sandra's in it doing the anime bike Akira thing. But if Sandra wins, does Nissa then get their Planeswalker spark back? And even then, it was, if you are Phyrexianized, it is a very slim chance you're going to survive or like become back to normal. But like nearly every single one of them got their spark back and then became human again. And it's really weird. It's like, oh, there's this person that they die so someone else can live. A Johnny then live. Jace's mom just goes, you and your girlfriend a little Seeky sick. Boom, all better now. And I'm like, this is supposed to be one of the most terrifying, most powerful like creatures or living things ever made, and like for years growing up playing Magic, listening to the lore, like Phyrexians were terrifying. That Phyrexian oil was absolutely terrifying. And now it just seems to be, if you get touched by the Phyrexian oil, you get the common cold. They're not even like, they're too, in my opinion, they're too focused in everything else coming out that they can't even focus on the story, and the stories are now getting worse. And then they're like, hey, we're releasing a new character that can find the gate in Planeswalk, and they change their colours every time. They're trying to look for their dad. Okay, well, we're going to continue. And it's like, they found their dad. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen now? And it's like, hey, Dad, you're not a nice person. Oh, wait, Jace opened the vault. Let's forget I exist. I'm like, why bring them here other than they were a small little character to just bring us to Borderlands? That is it. And then again, I'm not even the only one thinking this, as the Red Bobcat says perfectly.
Also, if that Aether Spark prize for winning that race turns out to give a Planeswalker, I assume Nissa, back their spark, I will become furious that Watsy are so disrespectful to their own lore and storytelling that they can't even be bothered to explore and make work the choices they made, like desparking their Planeswalkers. Despark them, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now respark them, whatever, it doesn't matter. The message is this game doesn't matter, who cares? Well, I'm starting not to.
And that's why I'm okay with now making this video. It is, I feel like if I just went, I don't like it because they're doing this, that and the other, everyone's just going to go, no. But if I'm like, they're doing this, that and the other, and I'm not the only one that has this opinion, see, you can say it better than I can. Someone will be like, yeah, no, I see your point, I don't agree with it, but at least, like, I went from like, oh cool, I'm the only one that thinks this, to people that are bigger and kind of better making content and stuff have the same opinions, and they probably do way more better research and better all around kind of same voicing the same opinion. Yeah, cool. That now I can do it too. Again, don't worry, I did ask permission to be able to use their video, so again, thank you. I will be linking their video at the end, but please, if you don't know who they are and for some strange reason watch my videos, go support them and everything they do, and I want to say thank you for letting me use their video. But also, they were not the only ones. In my opinion, one of the creators that actually kind of made me want to I did always want to do it, but the one that kind of made me, inspired me more to do it, also replied and said, you can use my video and agree or disagree with me. And to be honest, I agree with them. They said,
the problem with Magic at the moment is that there isn't a rest of the show. The entire thing is beach episodes. The entire thing is genre-hopping caricatures of popular media.
And as I said in this video, I do think originally Magic had the potential to go beyond. They could have gone into anything, referenced anything highly. They could have literally done anything. And then they decided to put the lid on it because compacting it down with people and love for other stuff makes them more money. Like, I would have been perfectly fine if they went the same direction, but if it was just fully on their own terms. If it was, they did do a horror set that didn't really have the references in it, but it was pretty much a different version of a horror thing, fine. Bloomburrow, fine. If they'd done a racing track that didn't seem like it was Wacky Race or Diddy Kong or Crash Racing, but it was a story-based, big, massive turns thing, that would have been better. But it seems not. It just seems to be, here it is, Wacky Races, Mario Kart, Crash Course Team, Tag Team, whatever, with magic characters in it. Not the other way around. I would have been fine with it. If it wasn't majority references or stuff from different shows, and they still, when they say, if they done, I don't know, they went to a plane with superheroes for the Marvel sets, fine. But no. And that's what it seems to be. But it just seems to be over there in the last few years, year or two, they just seem to be keep trickling little different IPs in, and then it's getting more and more and more. It's the classic thing of, if you keep repairing the boat, when does it become a new boat? And it seems to be they're replacing the boat parts with different IPs. That is the magic boat, just now one big IP shower. It makes sense to me. But as Pleasant Kenobi showed,
and look, Bright Glass Gear Hulk looks like something we understand and can enjoy and get behind. This looks like some very uniquely magic thing that is a connection or collection of previous reference points, whether it be things from intercontextual outside of canon or things within magic, absolutely. But if we look at it with the three cards which we currently have, Earth Rumble and Duretti, I think Bright Glass Gear Hulk is the outlier here. If most of the cards are just roadways with wacky races themed art on them, or we get characters looking like things out of fucking Grease or Hot Wheels, I just don't think every set needs to feel like an unset that isn't an unset.
And again, being the smaller channel that promotes the big one does make sense, but I do want to thank Pleasant Kenobi for letting me use their video as kind of a microphone for me to go, I have this opinion and I'm not the only one. So again, both their videos will be linked at the end, they'll be linked down at the bio, and both their channels will be, so if you're into Magic the Gathering, if you enjoy what I do, you would highly love what both of them do. And now that is me done with my little rant. Now when it comes to videos in the future, don't worry, I'm still going to be making them. I'm still planning on whenever like the Fallout or Final Fantasy, Spider-Man and the unannounced Universes Beyond stuff comes out, I will be making videos on them. I will still be talking about what's coming out, what's good about it, what's bad about it, but it won't be about the IP, it'll just be the whole set. I will be doing what I've seen other people do would count as, I will be professional. I'm not putting my thoughts and feelings of Universes Beyond in, but I will be giving my thoughts and opinions on, for example, when the SpongeBob Secret Lair comes out, is it a good Secret Lair to buy? On solely the cards and the art and the worth of it, not my opinions on do I like it or not, how I feel towards it. I may say it, but I'm not going to be telling other people. I'm going on the basis of, because it's a thing, is it worth it, instead of I don't like it, no one should buy it. There is a slight difference. It's weird to explain unless you do something like in a professional newsy way where it's like you just have to kind of show the thing instead of just making it about your thoughts and feelings, where this video is just about my thoughts and feelings. Like, I have a video being prepared, I'm going to record it after this, that I have made the SpongeBob Secret Lairs of what I think it would be cool if they do, what cards they should use, and then I did my own version of the main characters from SpongeBob being commanders, and if they do on 1 or 2 Secret Lairs, like what cards they could use as Magic the Gathering stuff. Now, I don't want them to make a SpongeBob thing, but they did, so I'm kind of having fun with it and going, this is what it could potentially possibly look like. What's your thoughts and opinions? So, yes, thank you for if you've stuck around and listened to my rant. Sorry if anything I said offended you, or if you're upset, or if you disagree and get angry. I apologize. As I said, I'm bad at articulating and getting what I truly say and mean out, but I want to thank I want to thank the 2 creators that let me use this stuff. I did message a few others, but these were the 2 that were like, it's okay. I know it's okay to use other people's content to kind of, in short bursts, to be like, hey, my opinion too, but it felt wrong. I did message like a few others, but thank you again. If you like me when I do, I will have more Magic the Gathering stuff coming out, or Pokemon stuff, but when it comes to this video, for once, and I've never done this before, so sorry if I get it wrong, I have the Red Bobcats video that I referenced here, and their channel here, and then I have Pleasant Kenobi's video here and their thing here. Go check them out, they're amazing creators, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video.